in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good night, everyone, and get ready because it's time for the late chip at the video store.
It just cuts off so abruptly, though. I'm like half mid-groove, and it ends. Let's go. Absolutely. I've been so excited to get to this topic this week. Good morning, good evening, just good to you all. How's everyone doing today? Mike, how are you?
I'm doing great. My favorite day of the week because I get to spend the half hour with you at the late shift.
Absolutely. I saw on our if you're following us on YouTube, you'll see we took cheese and death at the counter.
Yes.
And I love that because my question is, how much cheese is too much cheese?
There's never too much cheese.
Any amount of cheese. As always, we like to say some hellos. Who have we got? I see we've got Jake. If you're in the chat, give us a hey, give us a shout out. We've got Nick.
Did it.
We finally made it. Oh, exciting. We got a bit of chatter on our Facebook posts about this topic. So I'm really keen to see who's going to come on and give us their answers today. Because I think it's a very...
I question everyone in the chat as well. So, I'm hoping that brings on more people.
Yes, if you don't come in and give us your answer, you will suffer the cheesy death at the hands of Mike Hanley. Now, cheesiest death is a bit of a funny topic. It's like, I'm very open for interpretation for this. I have no set definition of what constitutes cheesiest death. It's whatever sort of pops into your brain, how you want to take it. So it could be something that's a very serious, Alan. It could be something that's played very seriously, but is just funny unintentionally. Those are the ones I kind of go for. So actors or movies that are really, this is a serious death scene right now, but it's just so over the top and badly acted, it's funny. Or otherwise, the second one, as I said, something that is just so gratuitously over the top, it becomes funny. And that can be intentionally funny or not, I think. Sometimes you can do intentionally cheesy, funny deaths. I don't know if it counts, but I saw, I think the gasoline fight in Zoolander. That could count as the cheesiest death, because that is just so bombastically over the top, the music, everything. But that's meant to be that way because that's played for comedy. Whereas the one I'm going to bring up, buy our shit.
Yeah,
give us the banner. Give us the scroll. It's not a video store program if we don't have the scroll going across the bottom.
That is very true.
The one I'm going to bring up, it is an all-time classic. It is one I heard referenced before I'd even seen it. One of my absolute most favorite shows is Gilmore Girls, and season 4, episode 1, the girls come back from backpacking across Europe, and Rory's going to go off to college, so they've planned out the week. And on Tuesday, the day before she goes, they're like, Tuesday, the alternates of day, Godfathers 1, 2, and 3, with repeated viewings of Sophia's death scene as long as the Malamars hold out. So I'm going with the Sophia Coppola Miracle Leone death scene from Godfather 3. I love Godfather 1 and 2. Rewatched, love it. Godfather 3 I haven't done as much because it doesn't resonate with me. But this death scene is it's been memeable. It's one that's gone around the pop culture, like even before the internet sort of thing. I feel like this was the one that would be referenced a lot, like just how bad it is. The very blank death scene. I'm sorry, I said it. I'm going to take a big one off the table because it's just the one that I think is very well known for being extremely cheesy. Mike, what are your thoughts on Sophia? I don't even say Mary, it's Sophia Coppola's death in Godfather 3. What do you think?
I actually rewatched this movie a couple times in my early 20s because of that scene. I just love that fucking death. Like the movie in general, all right, it's nothing, special, but the actual death is fucking fantastic. I love that.
It's great. It is so bad. It is good.
Yes.
And I love it. Mike, do you want to throw our link up in the chat?
Yes.
And we'll get some people in. If you haven't already said hi, give us a shout out in the comments so we know you're here. Click on the link. And then Mike, this is very up your alley of the topic, I think. I think you've got more. This is going to be your turn to have more than one choice, I think. Oh, the room. I'm hoping someone brings up the room. Mike, what's your choice for Cheesiest Death?
Okay, so I went on something that's on par with the Godfather films. It's a movie called Deadly Prey from the 80s. It's an action movie where this dude is like an unstoppable force and they hire him to go into the jungle and kill a bunch of people. And he ends up taking a dude's severed arm and beating him to death with it. And it is so fucking over the top and ridiculous, and they play it so straight. I love it. And then he scalps him at the end. Like, the dude is dead on the floor and he scalps him. Like, it's insane. It's ridiculous, but I absolutely fucking adore it. I love it so much.
Oh, that's great. I haven't seen Deadly Prey. I was with you to the scalping. Might need to do one of these for that. But beating someone to death with their arm, very good action movie trope or D&D trope if you play that. Let's get Nick in here to give us his choice before we go through them all.
Oh, hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's been four weeks in the making trying to get on this show, but
It's true.
Happy to have you here. What's
yeah,
the
exactly. Oof, like you said, you've already taken 2 of them. But I mean, there, like many people have said, there is so many. But the first one that stuck in my head, I guess it's the main part of it is the lead up to the death scene, but I'm gonna have to go with Nicolas Cage and the Wicker Man.
Yes.
Oh, my eyes! Please! And then just him absolutely just screaming at the top of his lungs when he, spoilers for a 30-year-old movie. But anyways, so just him like in the Wicker Man being like, ah! So, there's at least 3 others that I could mention, but I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder. But anyways, I had to do the bees. Like, that was the first one that came into my mind. So,
as you can see, I'm so happy. Like, this is definitely one of the all-time classic ones. Not the bees. Like, everyone can do a good impression of that. It's amazing. It's just so. I don't even have the words for it. It's Nicolas Cage, obviously. Like, we all know what Nicolas Cage is capable of. Exactly.
And, well, that's why I wanted to get in first, because I knew someone else was going to say that if I didn't take it. Yes, there it is. That's the other line I was thinking of. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I said, there's so many. I'm very excited to see what everybody else says, but I wanted to get in first so I could say that one and claim that one, because that one is just the cream of the crop when it comes to cheesy deaths, in my opinion. So
I wholeheartly agree. Mike, what are your thoughts on the Wicker Man?
Oh yeah, when I had to seek out the director's cut version of it just to get more of the bees, because that's
true, because that had the extended scene of it, which is even better. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's so ridiculous, so out there. Like, the movie is terrible, but they're like, it's so memeable and so ridiculous. I have to fucking love it. It was just so wacky.
Oh yeah, no, that's that. I exactly there. I didn't think there was any other choice. Like I said, those others that you mentioned were on the list, but this was number 1, so no question.
Love it. Yeah.
Great
Nick, thank you for coming on and giving us your answer.
I'm so happy to finally be here. So happy to be on here again at some point.
Finally, we got you.
Exactly. All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
Starting strong, Mike. Like, that is absolutely one of the ones that would always make like a cheesiest deaths list or whatever. That is the pinnacle. I'm hoping we might see some more Nicolas Cage. I know you've just done a big Nicolas Cage rewatch through, so you might need to have a think. You might need to have a think and bring up some more Nicolas Cage. Like, maybe he's taking his face off being John Travolta. Like, that would make me very happy. Mike, let's get another customer in here.
Hi.
Here you go. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Very much so. Thank you for having me on. It's been a couple weeks. I've had other things going on, but I'm happy to be back here for the show.
Fantastic. Question of the night. What's the cheesiest death scene in a movie? On the Facebook, you said you've got a few options, so I'm being excited.
So I want to preface this by saying that I cannot call myself a fan of Austin Powers. It's a franchise it's just never, it's not something I've gotten into. That being said, International Man of Mystery, Michael McDonald of Mad TV fame, standing and screaming no for like 30 minutes straight as a steamroller just slowly goes up to him and just flattens him like a pancake. Dude, you could have moved like 7 years ago and you still let it roll over you. What are you doing? It is beautiful. It is silly. It is cheesy in every which way possible. It is 7 different kinds of cheese put into a nice Big Mac that you can get at your local fast food place, and it'll give you diabetes, but you'll be happy all the way through.
Oh, I love this choice. Austin Powers, just as a franchise, like has some amazing deaths. Because I guess you're ripping on the Bondness of it all, but that one really plays to the extreme of you could get away. Like, that is what's so good about it. Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a very cheesy, ridiculous scene that I absolutely love, and I love that the whole time Austin is telling him to just move out of the way, just get out of the way, and he just won't do it.
Oh, Nico, thank you for coming on and giving us your answer today.
Happy to be back. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a choice worth waiting for, because when I'm going through my head of everything, like, it's definitely dominated by horror and by action. So I really loved seeing a comedy, and Austin Powers, as I said, just has some great cheesy deaths. The one my dad and I will still quote to this day is Will Ferrell's death when he falls off the cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've broken every bone in my body. Like, we just start throwing out like, it's bleeding. That's always a really good one. Let us know in the chat. It's been so great. A lot of people have been saying, oh, that was one of mine. Oh, that was one of mine. So it's great to see the hive mind of what's been working. So if you've got anything else, click on our link, jump in the room behind the scenes, or even give us your answers in the chat and we'll see what's happening. Mike, do you have a second option you might be thinking of?
Ooh, yes. Okay, so I have the movie written down because it's a title that I can never pronounce correctly. It is called Karetechi Kiz. Now, this movie people know from the clip, which is a man who gets shot in slow motion and then dies in very slow motion, but then gets shot again and does the same scream over again. And then he gets shot yet again and does the same scream over again, just moving across the room, slowly dying. It is so insane, so ridiculous, but I absolutely fucking love it. Oh
my God!
We're going to be coming back to that one for sure. That is a great one.
But you just showed me this clip earlier, and I'm very someone who loves that Family Guy humor of when Peter falls over and like going so past the joke that it becomes hilarious again. I love that. Mike, let's get another customer in here.
We got Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Question of the night. What's the cheesiest death scene in a movie?
So when I first heard this topic, there was one that jumped out at me right away, and it kind of straddles the line between cheesiest and greatest death scene, and that's Paul Rubens in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, that was what I was thinking about.
It's just the vampire getting staked and just slowly dying for 5 minutes. And then if you stick through the credits at the end of the movie, he's still dying, just kicking the wall. It's just definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, that's amazing. I know if you follow Evolution of Horror podcast, they're doing a vampire series, so that's coming up. I've seen all of the Buffy TV show, but not the original movie. So now this is one I'm going to be looking out for big time. Mike, you're very dramatic about this one. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, I would continuously rewatch this as a child just to get to that scene because I fucking loved it so much. It is so ridiculous. And I love that he looks at him when he looks just to make sure he's still looking at him while he's down because he wants to make sure that he's seeing him die. It is so fucking hilarious. I love it so much. Paul Rubens is amazing in it. Great fucking choice there.
That's great, Matt. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us your answer. Love it.
Thank you.
But
Thanks.
can you bring up that Garth comment?
Yes.
This is one that definitely circles a few cheesiest death lists.
Yeah.
The swelling up. Actually, there's a few I saw swelling up. I don't want to bring it up just in case someone brings that there's big trouble happening. If someone wants to bring up that one, go for it. But this one definitely, and as we're talking Austin Powers and Bond, there's a lot of very cheesy, over the top, ridiculous deaths, and sometimes it feels like they've just been trying to like one up each movie, like, and the stinger, like, and the quip at the end, very Bond, very cheesy. Mike, let's get another customer in here.
We got Javi.
Damn it, Garth.
What ridiculous time in the morning is it for you now, darling?
It's only 8:50 now. I'm back in the States, so that's good.
Okay. Like Garth took your answer?
Garth took my answer. I did have a backup, which is good, but
I did not elaborate on that enough, so please give us your answer.
Yeah, so it's Yaphet Kotto, Dr. Kananga's death and Live and Let Die. But that's been said. Even the highly inflated, opinionated line about himself, it's like, okay, well, I can't even say that now. So I'm gonna go with one that I don't know if it's definitely not the cheesiest death I've ever seen, but it's in such a good movie, and the death itself is such a cheesy one compared to the rest of the movie. Don't worry about it, Garth. I'm fine. It's spoiler alert for this movie that came out in 2002, but it's Green Goblin's death in Spider-Man. Because it's
them fighting words, possibly.
I'll straight up say it. Not that it's a bad death. It's a good death, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the movie.
We still got a good amount of time left.
We'll go eat. We'll wait for you, darling.
Okay, cool.
But please give us Green Goblin, Harvey. This is on my short list as well, and I was too scared to pick it up. So
there's Jake. Oh, okay. As long as Jake's on board with me, then I'm good. His whole team name for fandom is a Spider-Man reference. I'm all good for this. Yeah, I just like the fact that it's like such a tense moment. It's like, oh, you and I aren't that. We're more alike than you think, and whatever. And it's like very tense, whatever. And then he just gets stabbed by his own glider, like right at like the stomach part, and like you're like right before he goes, oh, and then stabbed. But like it's not that it's like you can hear the oh. It's like they do a close up on his face. Oh, stabbed. Don't tell Harry. It's the, like, as much as I love Willem Dafoe, he didn't. Yeah, thank you, Jake. He did not sell me on his death super duper well, but it's such a fun Sam Raimi death that you're like, well, you know what? This is fun. I like this. It doesn't take away from the movie at all. It's just like slightly out of place, but it works. It's super weird because it shouldn't work, but it works.
I do like the impaled by his own glider part, like that it's not Peter causing it. Peter's just sort of observing it, if that makes sense. And then you're right, it's like because that could be a very human reaction, like the shock of it all. Like you would feel the shock and then the impaling of it, and you never know. So I do think that is a great choice. Mike, what is your thoughts on this one?
Oh yeah, I think it's a fantastic choice. It's such a great scene, and the way it happens is so good, and it is very funny too. The way he does it is very funny. It is a very good pick for me, Javi. I like it.
Javi, thank you for coming on and giving us your choice tonight. Love it.
Thank you, Javi.
That was great.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we were going to get Spider-Man, so I think we know what we need to do, Mike.
Now, before we bring him on,
okay,
I do want to bring up this comment from Garth. He had another one.
Here we go. This is one Mike and I talked about beforehand. So what's funny about Cheesiest Deaths is that, and Mike, you brought it up with yours, a lot of people have maybe seen the clip if they haven't seen the movie. So I've never seen Deep Blue Sea, but I know this death. Like, this death is iconic amounts of cheese of Samuel L. Jackson giving this impassioned speech and then CGI awful shark out the side, down from all the other crew members. It is great. Mike, what's your thoughts on this one?
Now, me and Cody just rewatched this last Friday, and I was just waiting for this fucking part to come up because it's so out of nowhere. Like you watch it now, you know it's coming, but when you first see that in the theater, you're thinking of Samuel Jackson. There's no way this man's going out, especially like that, and it just happens. And then the other shark comes and they just rip him to pieces within like 2 seconds. It's so fantastic. It's so ridiculous. I love it very much. Absolutely. And yeah, we did bring this up in the pre-show.
Briefly.
It is a great choice there.
The Wake Me Up Before You Go, Gasoline, young Alexander Skarsgård, like it's hilarious. It's very good. Throw that link up in the chat if you haven't jumped into the room and you want to be on. Let us know. We've still got time for a few extras, and we're going to be waiting for Bill because Bill's going to come on and give us a great answer, I think. And if you have been on, keep throwing them up in the chat. I know maybe everyone feels like they're stepping on toes. It's not. I'm loving the interactivity tonight. I love everyone like, oh, that was one of mine, congratulating each other's choices. That is just awesome to see. Mike, please bring on our next customer.
The Kangaroo Man.
How fortuitous that we were just talking about Spider-Man and who was waiting behind the scenes.
I thank you, Harvey.
Goblin first.
And yeah, we did not plan that.
No, we didn't. We didn't. Harvey, you have all my respect. That was a great choice. I love Spider-Man. Anything Spider-Man related. Of course, that movie is perfect. So my choice is, I have two choices. I need you to help me out because I really love both of them. So do I go with a superhero movie from the early 2000s or do I go from a sci-fi action movie from the 80s?
I gotta go sci-fi action 80s.
I'll talk about the one later when I do the top 100. Okay, so it's from, I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm going with a scene from Robocop 2.
Yes.
In the movie, they're trying to make the Robocop 2. They're literally trying to make a Robocop 2, and we see the failed Robocops. One of them shoots itself after shooting a bunch of people, but I prefer the second failed Robocop, which is a humanoid android robot, and as he walks out, he rips off his mask to reveal a skeleton with wires coming out of his eyes, and he gives out a scream of agony and pain, and this is just the shot of him as he dies. Absolutely insane. And I always remember watching that and finding it just absolutely over the top and hilarious. And then after he falls down after dying, you just see the old man, the head of OCP, just disappointed that not because he died, but because his Robocop 2 didn't work. And it's just like Robocop has so many just gory deaths, and just like there's the whole Murphy death scene in the first one that just went on forever and it terrified me as a kid. But that one was just so funny and just like, these people are in pain and I'm laughing at their agony while the skull screams. And I just think it's crazy.
Oh, Jake, I love that you come on every Saturday morning and give us such good picks and bring the images and the props. Like, your next level commitment makes me so happy.
I try to make everyone understand how great it is.
Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely love this choice. Like, yes, Robocop 2 and 3 are fucking bad, but the death scenes in them are fucking fantastic. Like, they are so ridiculous. And I just love that Robocop 2 takes out fucking Peter Weller. There's no Peter Weller in it.
The two has Weller, the Robocop 3.
The third one doesn't.
Yeah, and the third one just sucks ass.
Yeah.
2 has some redeeming qualities.
But it's a great fucking choice, man. The fucking death scene is fantastic. Yeah.
Then it falls to it's great.
Oh, Jake, thank you so much for coming on and giving us your answers, sweetie.
Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Can you bring up Nazaro's comment?
Yes.
Let off some steam. Bennett. An all-time classic,
Oh,
like just one of the best. Pipe to the, is it to the chest?
Yes.
Pipe to the chest and let off some steam. But I think Alad brought it up as well. Like, this is another one. If you haven't seen the movie, you've at least seen the clip. You know the quip afterwards. Absolute classic. Mike, bring it on next customer. Nick!
Do it! The other Nick! We got both Nick.
Oh.
How are you doing tonight?
I only saw the beginning of the title, and I saw what is the cheesiest, and I didn't think we were doing movies, but it's okay.
What do you think we were doing?
I don't know, like sandwich.
Like so, soft cheese or cheddar? Like, are we talking like a nice brie? Like, what do you want to bring up?
Just have a nice
what is the
mozzarella.
cheesiest? Are we talking like craft singles? Okay, bring it.
Craft singles. I melted. But has anyone? So I haven't been here the whole time. Has anyone mentioned Bond?
We've had one. We've had Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Dang it! Okay, that was mine. So I came backstage and I was like, okay, I got to do a Bond movie. I just got to think of which one, and then eventually I was like, oh, obviously the one where he inflates and explodes. Another good one's Goldfinger. From the movie Goldfinger. It's just the most ridiculous looking thing of someone getting sucked out of an airplane window I've ever seen, because he's like a very large man and the window's like very small, and it's just clearly like a dummy who gets sucked out the window. And it's just really bad. Largo in Thunderball, the next one's also a really good one. He's just driving a boat and it's supposed to be the big like climactic thing, and the girl just like shoots him with a harpoon gun. And it hits him like in a place where like you wouldn't die. Like you'd be like, "Oh, that hurt." Like, oh. He falls over, and then the boat crashes into like some rocks and explodes in a crash that like definitely would just cause it to like bump a little bit. It's a lot. Dang it! Someone said "Live and Let Die" though.
So you're calling out the specifics. Like, it's not a cheesiest death. It's a death that shouldn't even be happening. Death.
Yeah, like it happened in real life. The harpoon hits him like in a weird like place in the back. It would at least wouldn't be like an instant death. He just like falls over. He'd like turn around and be like, "Dude, you just shot me with the harpoon."
Mike, what are your thoughts on some of these Bond deaths?
Oh yeah, okay. So the past year or so, I've slowly been watching Bond. Every so often, I'll pick a random Bond. So I've seen both of those the past year, and yes, those scenes are fucking perfect for cheese. They're so fucking ridiculous, and that's what, like, for the most part, I'm not a Bond fan, but the deaths are fucking great. I have a great time with the deaths. The deaths are good. I love that.
Oh, quickly, thoughts on the Green Goblin and Spider-Man?
I saw Javi's explanation. It's very true. I'm glad Jake's not here anymore. I'm not a big Raimi trilogy fan. I've sort of said it for a while. Obviously, Spider-Man 3 is bad, and then I don't think the other two are that great. I thought he was great in No Way Home, but I've always kind of just thought he was pretty average. So I think all those movies are just cheesy in general, like throughout. But yes, the Goblin was very.
Oh, amazing! Thank you for coming on and giving us your answer, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Love it. Oh, that's great. We're seeing so much Bond and so much overlap. It's fantastic. So obviously, if we were going to pick a fan favorite of the night, like a poll went up, it's going to be the Live and Let Die death, I think. If you have clunky cancellation, fair. I saw before the Indiana Jones one.
Yes.
This is where I had a bit of a debate, and I said at the start, I'm not set on a definition of cheesy. I think that's just too awesome to be cheesy.
Oh yeah. I don't agree with this one either. I think it's too awesome to be cheesy. Like, it is the quintessential Harrison Ford as Indy move to do. He's just too fucking tired. Fuck it, just shoot the man.
Yeah, it's like, it's cheesy from the perspective of the swordsman, but it's just too awesome from the perspective of Indy. That's great. Mike, bring in our next customer.
We got the Holes Man.
The Holes Man.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
What is the cheesiest death scene in a movie?
Yeah, so I went for a scene where the death itself is kind of cheesy, but the scene leading up to it is some of the cheesiest stuff ever, and I fucking love it. It's from one of my favorite movies. I am going with specifically the scene that leads up to Dan Aykroyd's death in Gross Point Blank.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm taking a very different approach than all these other people have of like weird, ridiculous, and stupid deaths. This is like a 1.5-minute gunfight in a house where John Cusack and Dan Aykroyd are just throwing quips at each other, and none of them are good. But they're trying so hard to be smart with each other, and it's so good. Where it's like, how would you join the union? Are there going to be meetings? Well, of course there's going to be meetings. It's a union. I don't like meetings. And then they keep shooting at each other. And then the way it ends is just fucking brilliant. Where like John Cusack runs out of bullets, and Aykroyd knows, and he goes, "Well, like this isn't any fun." It's like, "I'll make you a deal. I'll sell you a gun for $100,000. Deal?" And it's like, "Deal." And Aykroyd leans out from his hiding spot to throw the gun to him, and John Cusack just takes a TV and smashes it on his head and kills him. And it's so good. It's so ridiculous because like the death itself on its own is still hilarious because it is truly just like the glass of a television and then Dan Aykroyd's head inside of a TV. As John Cusack just like hits him at it. Also, as he pops it to throw the gun, he says the word popcorn for no reason. He just smashed the TV on him, and it's such a fun scene. Like that whole movie is great, but just the ultimate like they are just throwing stupid and again truly like not clever quips in one. And it just all builds.
That's brilliant. Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh yeah, I think it's a great choice for Cheesiest death. It's so random and just so fucking hilarious. It's the only way for him to go out in that movie, and it makes sense for it. It makes sense with everything leading up to it that's the way he goes out.
Join me. We could go upstairs. We can kill Daddy.
That is such a great choice.
I love it. The chat agrees as well. Everyone's popping up. This is a great one. So, and I love again like what we had with Austin Powers. Like we're getting like the comedy cheesy deaths.
Yes.
So that's really cool to see. Oh, Cam, thanks so much for coming on and giving us your answer tonight.
No problem. Watch Gross Point Blank. It's so good.
Yes.
Love it. We are really sort of getting that wide variety. Oh, we have a late customer. Please bring them on.
We got Burr.
We got Burr.
Up, guys.
Thanks for popping in. How are you?
I saw this was happening because I was recording something else that we just finished, and I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. What's the cheesiest death scene in a movie?
Okay, so Mike and I watched a little film together, and it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life. Bill, the person who is backstage currently right now has also seen this movie, and they'll know what I'm talking about. Any of the goons at the beginning of the Miami Connection. There are so many great moments of just like one guy like just like he's completely sliced. This movie is cheese personified, but it is just glorious, rich, creamy cheese. Close. That was second place for me. But the Miami Connection, there are so many like great cheesy moments, but like the opening is just kind of glorious.
That sounds brilliant. I need to look that up. Mike, what are your thoughts on the Miami Connection?
Yeah, when you had told me you wanted to watch this movie, Bar, I had heard of it, but I had never seen anything of it. So I went into it very blind, and I had the best time with this fucking movie. And those deaths, I agree, are extremely cheesy. Like the deaths throughout the entire fucking movie just get cheesier as they go.
They do. They really do.
It's insane how this movie is just one big ball of cheese. But yes, I think this is a perfect choice for cheesiest death scene. Good shit.
That's amazing. Bar, thank you so much for coming on and giving us your answer tonight.
Glad I could finally come on, guys. I'll see you later.
Thank you, Bar.
I think that's amazing. I love, we're seeing a lot of over the top amazingness. Definitely a lot I need to seek out. Mike, bring in our next customer.
We got Bill.
I would like to be known. I saw the Miami Connection in theaters.
Hell yeah.
Because I am an asshole. So
that is fair.
What's the cheesiest death scene in the movie? Give us your answer.
I brought a visual aid. I don't know if I could share it, but I have the video prepped.
Oh yeah.
Because has anybody on this panel ever seen Samurai Cop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The gunfight in the woods.
Oh. Yes.
That one. Where the guy like literally
dude,
like,
I'd never even
almost
like
like
in my head. That's a good
tries to
fucking
lay
story.
down as he's getting shot. He's like clearly like, I am putting no effort into this. And everybody in this scene deserves a fucking Academy Award for not cracking the fuck up. It is just like one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Can you set the premise for me, please? Because I have not seen it.
Gunfight in the middle of the woods. There's no plot to this. If you could find a plot, I will give you $5. I will Venmo you right now. Not even kidding. Can I even share? Like, can I share it? Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, because I have it prepped. I do.
Yeah, if you have a prep, let's go.
Here we go. We don't need sound. It's fine.
No.
All right. So hide behind the tree. Find a big tree to hide behind. Find a smaller tree to hide behind. Stand out in the open. Oh, I got shot. Dude, you're shot. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. And he's still trying to get the shot. Like, I'm going to gently lay down. There we go. And that's it.
That's amazing.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Amazing. Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh yeah. Watching this movie, I first saw it in high school, and then I rewatched it a couple years ago. Still fucking holds up to me. It's so ridiculous and so out there. I love it to death. And that scene, I don't know why that didn't even come to me when this came up. That is a great fucking choice. It's so out there.
Turkish movie where the guy gets getting shot for like 5 minutes straight. Because that's the one I usually go to, and it's like, this is not a real thing, right? I'm like, it is. Just keep watching, because it keeps going. He would die if you stopped shooting him, because it just angers him. It's like every bullet is a rejuvenation. It's so weird.
Bill, thank you so much for coming on and giving us your answer.
Thank you so much, Bill.
All right, guys.
That was amazing. Oh, tears, laughter tears. Mike, we got a customer. Bring them in.
We got Brooklyn.
Hey,
How are you
definitely.
going tonight?
Good. I'm definitely in Canada. Definitely not in New Jersey. In another household that was just on here like a couple minutes ago.
Definitely having deja vu. Nothing looks similar.
My cheesiest. Oh, just was subtle, kind of popping in. Hey, Andrew, what's up, buddy? So my answer for the cheesiest death scene in a movie was actually from a movie that came out this year. Studio 666 is a Foo Fighters horror movie where Dave Grohl gets possessed by the devil, and Rami Jaffe, per pronunciation, he's one of the newer members of the band. He plays keys. Yes, I'm at Bar's house today. But he has sex with Whitney Cummings, and Dave Grohl is hiding underneath the chainsaw, and like right at a certain moment, he comes up and kills the two of them, and it's just like, it's gory, just straight like B-level horror, and it's perfect.
Oh, Mike, you've seen this one. I have not. Please, what are your thoughts on this
I absolutely love this movie to death. I've seen it twice now, and it's amazing. And that death scene is fucking perfect for this. But the way they just have him turn so psychotic, slowly but surely, and then he gets to that part and he just starts annihilating everybody. Fucking fantastic. It's such a great part. That is a great goddamn choice.
Amazing. Brooklyn, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Brooklyn.
And random bar cameo as well. Oh, Mike, this has been amazing. Like, we've had some really great choices, a lot of interactivity. It's been awesome. One I'm surprised didn't come up. It's more like slasher deaths. Like, we didn't see a lot in the. I really thought this list was going to be dominated by horror. I really did, because that is where my mind goes for cheesiest. And one clip I've seen, but I haven't seen, is Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh,
with the guy on the rooftop. Because
the boxer, yes.
The boxer, yes. because what cracks me up about this scene is that there's no score. So all you're hearing is, thump, thump, thump,
You're just getting more and more tired as you keep punching.
It's like Muhammad Ali, like Jason's just waiting him out to tire himself out, and like props to this guy of like not giving up. He's just gonna try and punch his way out of this supernatural evil, but then Jason just gives him that, I think it's a left, it might be a right hook, bam, head flying off, lands on the pavement over the building. I think that is super cheesy, over the top. Do you have any slasher movie deaths that come to mind?
There were two. One you brought up earlier that I definitely want to mention, but this one is called From Blood Rage. It's a movie about twin brothers. One is a killer that ends up breaking out of a mental hospital and coming back to kill a bunch of his brother's friends. And there's this death that when he stabs this guy, he makes the most ridiculous noise that kind of sounds like an orgasm at the same time. And the dude just dies straight out. It's the most ridiculous noise to make while dying, but so fucking fantastic. And then you brought up the GOAT, Kurt Russell, earlier, for Big Trouble in Little China.
Please.
With Thunder. And it's so amazing because he sees Lo Pan, the main man, die. And he gets so pissed off that he keeps getting bigger, and his face just keeps increasing like a balloon until it, and then they go, I think he's gonna blow, and they all fucking run away, and he just explodes while screaming. Fucking incredible. I love that part so much. I rewatch that all the time. I love
that shot, I feel, is quite iconic. Like that really bloated out face with the eyes. Like I feel like that is a very
the ears start smoking.
Exactly. Like you have seen that. Like if you have not seen the movie, you've seen that image. Another one you said we would come back to is Trolls 2. Can you please expound on that?
Yes.
That's way back up. You might not find it, but Alan brought up oh my God, because I mean, again, that's just so bad. There it is. That is so bad it's good. Classic. Mike, what are your thoughts on Troll 2?
Oh yeah, Troll 2. Like I saw the movie when I was younger, but then I ended up forgetting about it, and I watched the documentary they did on it, where they brought all like the cast back, and the dad is a dentist in real life, and he had no idea this movie had exploded like it did for like cult audiences. So when he comes back, he finally figures out that a bunch of people absolutely love this movie, and they just go to like conventions and they go to like midnight screenings of it. And this part is one of the big ones. I use the GIF all the time of oh my God, because it's just so insane, so ridiculous. And what's great about this movie, it has nothing to do with the first one at all, with the exception of troll. They're not even trolls in this one. Like it's fucking insanity. Like it's just so insane of a movie. This is a perfect choice. I love it to death. Great fucking choice, Alec.
I think that might wrap us up for the night.
Yeah.
So, again, this is going to be so hard to pick a VIP of the week.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be very difficult.
This is a tough one, but make sure you check us out on the Facebook page. We post our favorite clip of the night. Mike and I usually have a big chat afterwards, and just it changes every week. Whatever we think was just really caught us off guard, and we loved. Also, buy our shit.
Yes, that's always buy our shit.
Always buy our shit. Check out, if you're not following us on YouTube and the Facebook page, make sure you're following us on both, because we post things in there. We always post the question about 24 hours before, like the evening before. I confuse Mike every week. I'm like, are we posting it in the morning because it's my morning, his evening? But it does get posted, so look out for the next question of the week. Please look out for the next one, because this is the one I've been extremely, extremely excited about to get back to one of this topic. So,
we will post that on Monday with the VIP clip. I will post it under the comments. I will post a question earlier, so we can see if we can get more traction. So I will post it there, and then we will post it again 24 hours before. So check it out. Definitely show up in the comments again. You guys have been awesome yet again this week. Yeah. Thank you all for showing up.
Thank you. Everyone who comes on and gives us their time, everyone who pops up in the chat, you guys just make the show. It's always amazing. In the Facebook, when we get to see all the interaction, it really gets us excited for the show, and definitely your energy feeds us and back. So can't wait for next week, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, Bye.
Thank you for believing.
Can't you see that we are fucking close?
And we're clear.